All right, so as the recording comes on, it may put something on your screen that you want to get rid of, like a little banner or something. You click OK or got it or something. And then you want to get the most out of this class, you'll set it up just like I have it here, which is two chairs with high backs, high enough backs that you can have a hand on it for support, so that when we do single leg standing, as you can see me doing here, my vertical upright is intact as if I'm not using a chair, but the chair's there to keep me safe. So we want to use these chairs to give us the confidence to practice relaxing while putting ourselves in challenging positions, because it's very important from the Tai Chi perspective that when we go to pick up a leg, that we do not tense the body, because that makes us more top heavy and clumsy. We have to relax the body very loosely in order to have this ability to change weight, to move forward, to move backwards, to turn and keep our equilibrium. It requires this looseness, but that looseness gets interfered with when we have fear, caution, strain, tension. So take the time to create a setup for yourself that gives you that framework to work within. And then the playground that we work in is here. This is the space. So then you need that third chair back from these two to sit in. And so we've created our arena to work on our balance and our gait and all of that. So starting, sit at the front edge of your chair. Ideally, your hips are at the level of your knees or slightly above. Practice your zhong or your central upright, your vertical axis point. And once we've achieved that, then the breathing really helps with it. So inhale nice and full and feel the expansion, the body stretching open. Hold it full. And then with the exhale, relax all the tissue, all the structure with the exhale, but don't lose your vertical upright. And then again, inhale. Filling up, expanding, feel that internal stretching open. And then with the exhale, softening, relaxing, melting without losing your upright structure. Let's do that 8 more times. Make them good ones. And again, on your own, you should spend 5 minutes, 7 minutes just sitting upright, breathing, especially with nervous system issues like Parkinson's. You want to become a master of keeping yourself in parasympathetic, calm, relaxed, restful nervous system state. So when you're practicing posture and breathing, you're also practicing brain mastery over your nervous system to the degree that you can. A few more breaths here. Important is the nasal inhale, but going out, you can go out the mouth or the nose, whichever feels right to you, but try to get nasal breathing on the inhale. 3 more. Now, this first set of Shen Fa, or body mechanism methods. First one, slide hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, lift your chest, lift your chin. So really shape change. Arch the body. Then go the other way. Slide your hands forward past your knees. Hollow chest. Drop your head. And then shape change again. Slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, arching. And then slide hands forward past the knees, hollow the chest, round the back, drop your head. And again, inhale. And exhale. Two more. Make sure you take that head all the way back too, so you don't lose this range. We want this range of head back looking up, as well as head down looking almost like at your belly button. We have to make sure to have that full range in order to be able to relax. Make sure your head goes back. So that here, when you relax and settle, you should settle somewhat closer to neutral. So that we don't have to hold the body in this neutral. We're able to be just relaxed and settled there. Now keep that relaxed quality. Slide your left hand forward, your right hand and elbow back. Turn the shoulders, turn the head to the right. And then back to center. And then turn the other way. Right hand forward, left hand and elbow back. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. One more each way. And inhale, center. Relax here. Hang your arms loose. So the first version of this third movement here, the first version is just shift your weight to your right buttock and try to create sideways bend. We don't need to go too far, but you want your head to tip, your spine to tip. You just want to feel like you can tip to the right and not lose your equilibrium. And then make your way back to middle. So the middle is really important. And then shift your weight to your left buttock and lean to this side. Just notice most people have one side they feel more comfortable and the other side is less comfortable. That's very common. So a movement like this, we're trying to even out. Sometimes people feel really comfortable over here, but then when they try to go to the other side, there's all this fear and tension and concern. And so take a little extra time on your less comfortable side. Spend more time there. Try to let the awareness increase over there. Now we can add to this as you tip to your right. To get a little more out of it, lift your left wrist up, left foot empty, so that you can teeter-totter a little more to the danger zone, right? And then again, find the middle. Vertical, crown up top, right? And then teeter-totter to your left. Right wrist will float up, right foot empty, so you can go a little more to the danger zone. Just play right at that edge. And then, most importantly, middle. And again, tip to the right, left wrist floats up, left foot up. So we're flirting with danger, but relaxing. And then back to middle. And once more. And back to middle. Now, important is this junction where your arm meets your shoulder socket, where your scapula meets your ribs, where your chest muscles and shoulder muscles connect. So this junction is a common place for stiffness and grip, which then makes us top heavy, less connected to the ground, and makes us feel kind of clumsy, right? So we want loose and free. So what we do for that is a couple different things, but today we'll just do the arm circles. So tip forward, float your hands forward and then out. Notice that I'm keeping my hands down low. And then tip back and circle them in. Keep them in close to the body. Float them forward and out. And then tip back and circle them in. So from the perspective of this shoulder joint, feel how this movement squeezes them closed and then opens that shoulder space. Feel that opening there. Now let's go to the second level, which is about chest level. So we float up and then open. Turn your palms forward, float them down, and relax them to neutral. And then forward, up to chest level, and then open, down, neutral. Once more, forward and up, open, down. And James, really important here, and maybe for some others as well, keep the hands together when you're coming up. So they're touching. This forces your back to open up more. We go all the way up, then separate. All the way out to the side, down. Again, when you bring them forward, bring them together, backs of hands touching, and then up, keep them touching the whole way before separating, sliding down. One more time. So we're getting the gunk and junk off of the mechanisms, the residue and the rust, by taking this mechanism, the shenfa, and just exploring it thoroughly. And then relax. Now we do the same 3 exercises in reverse direction. Back and out, around and in. Notice that I'm staying low. Back, out, around, in. Along the body. Out and around, in. Second level, chest level. Out and up, across at chest level till they touch, down, neutral. Open, reach them out and up, right? That's opening this whole area, lengthening through the mechanism, stay long through the mechanism, and then down. Once more at the middle level, out and up, cross. Very good, everybody. One more level. So we go out and up and keep going up and keep going up and keep going up until you come over and down. Beautiful. Great job, everyone. 2 more. So we're going out. Big, spacious movement. The body, we want it to have interior space rather than congestion, compression, impingement, stagnation. All this space for breathing. Okay, scoot back a little bit in your chair so you feel very stable. Load your right leg up, flex the foot, and draw the leg up and in so that you can then push and then reload it and then set it down. Other leg, load it, push, load it, down. Load, push, load, down. Load, push, load, down. Load, push, load, down. One more. Load, push, load, down. Foot and ankle, range of motion. Straighten the leg, point and flex. Point and flex. Couple more. And then tilt the foot a little in, out, in, out, in, out. And then big circles. In, point, out, flex, circle. Reverse that circle. Out, point, in, flex. Out, point, in, flex, circle. And down. Other leg straighten. We got point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Then we got invert, evert, tilt, 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 tilt. Then we got circle, in, point, out, flex, circle. Reverse circle. And down. And scoot all the way to the front edge of your chair. Last one we do with the legs. Step your feet wider apart, so a comfortable wide distance. Lift your toes up. Turning on the heels, turn your knees and toes in. So this odd shape is internal rotation at the hips. And then lift your toes and turn, 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 turn. External rotation. So the pelvis and spine haven't changed, but the leg bone positioning. Lift the toes, internally rotate. So pelvis and spine stay the same. Leg bones, lift and the toes and turn out. And lift the toes and turn in. So it's sort of the correlate, the reflection of this joint that we just loosened, right? With these circles is the hip space. So we're trying to open, close, open, close. Now, neutral. Now, the balls of the feet stay down, lift the heels. So see what I do here. Bring the heels in and the knees out, external rotation. Now lift the heels, go heels out, knees in, internal rotation. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Heels in, knees out. And heels out, knees in. Back to neutral. And that same space up in the hips, now let's fold the body at that space. Sit up straight from that space and tip back from that space. So we already know the spinal cord, spinal column can arch and round, but for this exercise, don't round or arch it. Just keep a straight spine as if your spine is made of steel and fold from the hips. So sit up straight and tip back. Now let's just do 3 more of these and see if you can smooth that movement out. So it's smooth, where we just go forward, up and back, forward. So where it's kind of like movement creates lubricant, like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz, right? That little squirting of lubricant that loosens everything up. Movement, correct movement, produces that, right? So we're just lubricating each and every gear. Now, sitting up straight, slide your feet back a little bit, hang these, remember these arms that we just moved, we want them loose, fold from the hips, and take your loose arms and just float them a little bit out in front of your ankles, and very gracefully just spill your body weight forward so that it's down to the earth through your legs. Push down through the legs, and let's go tall. Really tall. So now we're standing up. Now to sit down, the first thing we need to do, and we're just going to repeat this part, is hips. So notice the arms here. These loose arms are hanging in front. By hinging at the hips, my spine is now angled a little bit forward, like when we were sitting in the chair. Notice that I'm not rounding. I'm not slouching my spine at all. It's straight. It's just at a diagonal line. And then come back to neutral by just bringing the hips right underneath. And then notice that you can push your hips more forward and then find the middle. And then the hips go back a little. Keep that vertical line out through the crown of your head, even though it's at a diagonal. Keep that line. That's called zhongjung, right? Keeping your zhongjung or your central upright, even when we do this position. Now let's use this movement to sit down. So it's fold and then hinge. But notice I'm not committing to my butt yet until I get all the way near the chair, then commit back to the chair. And then folding at the hips, we don't yank our body up, we just pour the weight forward. Now the weight is down through the legs and we can stand tall. So don't underestimate the importance of this movement. This is like everything for the body. This ability to hinge, fold, commit to the chair, and when we don't sit in the chair, we just stand up. That's a squat, right? So we're doing stand and sit, and then the next is we're going to do squats. So now, don't sit in your chair, right? Once you've stood all the way up. Now, don't sit down. Just fold and sink. Get almost to sitting, but then just come right back up. Add to this one that you push the hips forward. So if you just watch me once and see how I'm as loose as a goose here, and I'm just from the hips going fold, sink, rise, here. So you don't need to go that fast, but just try to find this movement for the body. Fold, sink, and then rise, hips forward. Two more just like that. Fold. It is likely that when you're doing this, you're running into stiffness. You're running into tissue that's sort of moaning and groaning, and that's common, especially if you're doing it right. You should be sort of encountering pain, but not pain like you're injuring your knee or straining your back, but pain of muscles that have become short and tight. When you sink down, they're being asked to stretch loose. And then the same thing here. When you go here, this area is being asked to stretch, and this area is being asked to stretch. So we have to somewhat push through or go into the pain that's lodged in the body. Now, find middle. So we're just standing in the middle. Turn and face forward if you're not. And you got your chair on the right side. So be near that chair with your hand able to touch it, but then try to do this first exercise, no hands at all. So we have two legs. Let's take index finger and place it in the belly button. So now you're pressing your belly button gently. When you shift your weight to your right leg and back to your left leg, move from here. So when you move from the belly, it's very different than when we stay stiff here and people lean like that. So see how when I do this, this doesn't move at all. But when I move from here, the whole body comes along for the ride, and then come back to the middle, and then go over here. So this is your first Tai Chi practice, this basic separate, empty, and fold. What's important to remember in this is when you bring your weight over to, let's say, your left leg, try to resist the urge to lock it. Instead, do the opposite. Relax the leg more. So you shift over onto one leg and then relax it more. And notice that you didn't collapse to the ground. In fact, your leg became like a spring. And then to the other side, just over onto your right leg, stay on the right leg and try to soften it and feel how there's some liquid hydraulic support available. And then change and let the weight go down through that left leg by softening it. And then change. And what's important to note is that there's a saying, the primary direction is down. So even though I'm changing left to right, there's only a little bit of left to right movement. Most of the achievement is down, letting go, relaxing down through the leg, and then changing and letting the weight go down through this leg. Now let's go down through the right leg and lift your left heel, try to get to the tip of the toe. So look what I do with my leg. I float the heel up and I bend the knee forward. I don't pull like this. I'm just softly floating the foot like that, and then change the weight and do it on the other side. Get to the tippy toe, down, change. So we got all the weight in one leg, and then the empty foot has this freedom of movement, right? That's what your chair's there for, Lana. Change the weight and lift, right? So if as you do this, you start to feel that caution, just place a hand on the chair and that calms you down usually. That's all you need. So now you can let the hands hang, or you can have a hand on one side. Now let's definitely put a hand on the chair, and we're going to go tippy toe and then disconnect. So disconnect one foot from the floor, use your chair for safety, place that foot back down, and then we change the weight. So now this leg full, this one empty, tippy toe, disconnect, place the foot down and change. Tippy toe, disconnect, down, change. Get to the tippy toe, disconnect, down, change. And then the final level in this exercise, hand on chair, so we can now put all the weight in your left leg, empty right foot. Now bring this knee all the way up, and then land the foot all the way down, but no body weight in it, and do it again. Same leg, lift, lower. Twice more, same leg, lift, and lower. And again, lift, and lower. Now switch. Put all the weight in your right leg. Left leg is empty. Let's go lift and down with no body weight. Just as important as this is that when I let this leg go down, I don't fall into the leg. That I'm able to place it down and lift it up. Place it down, lift it up with no body weight. So this trains you what an empty leg feels like. Now alternate every time. Shift, full lift, place it down empty, shift, full lift, place it down empty, shift, right? All this happening from your navel. This is our cockpit. This is the middle of the body, the wheelhouse. Great job. Okay. Now make sure you're a little bit back from the chair so you have a small runway in front. Put all the weight in your left leg, empty right foot, put it out in front of you. And just notice when I do this, I don't take a massive step forward. Very important to take small steps in the beginning, and then you can grow them. But get full and empty. Now, primary direction is down. So you're just going down through your right leg. That moves you forward. Try to get to the tippy toe of this back foot. And then go down through your back leg. That moves you backwards. Empty. So you're on the tip of the heel of your front foot. Then go down and down. So seeing how you can relax, you can keep your vertical axis, and you move from your cockpit here down, down. So the balance that we're looking for, the equilibrium we're looking for, is from the Tai Chi point of view, it's only available when everything is so relaxed that there's no excess tension in the body. We're moving from our center and we have groundedness and looseness and buoyancy. So that's just not how most of us find ourselves when we start our practice. Now, hand on chair. Lift. Lower the heel in front. Shift. Now your back leg like a little flamingo. Bend the knee. Touch the toe down. Shift. The weight goes down. The weight staying down through one leg allows this. Now notice when I lift this leg, I don't lean back. I don't lose my equilibrium. I'm floating this limb. And then shift. Same thing here. I'm not tipping forward. I'm relaxed and then just bending the knee. Just using buoyancy to move that limb. And then shift. The weight down allows this. So that sturdiness comes from the weight being underneath us. Shift. The weight underneath. And then this freedom of movement. And let's go level 3. Hand on chair. Full lift. Softly land the heel in front. Shift. Now the weight underneath and out of the body allows this. Forward and up. Reach the toe behind, still no body weight. Shift. The weight underneath, allowing a lift, lower, shift. The weight underneath, allowing for a lift, reverse, shift. The weight underneath. The weight underneath. And then feet together, let's change sides. Step over to your other chair. Level 1, so where you put that body weight in your right leg, left heel in front, remember it's empty. From the middle, down through your front leg, down through your back leg. Just feel how that moves you forward by going down. And moves you backwards by going down. So if you relax more, you have more equilibrium. Because then there's less leaning, less pitching, less lurching, right? It's just simpler. It's just down, down. Now, hand on the chair, lift your front leg, lower your front leg softly, heel touching, and then go down. Now your back leg, like that little flamingo, bend, touch the toe down, shift. The weight down underneath so you can lift, lower, shift. The weight down underneath so you can bend, toe touch, shift. Some of you might even play with no hands on this, where you can feel the sturdiness underneath and the lightness through that limb. And then shift, and the same idea. You let all the weight go out so the body is buoyant. One more. And the key too is this premature stepping that people do. We don't take long enough to say, okay, did I really commit 100? And if I committed 100, then this is free. Same thing. You come back. Did I wait long enough? Hand on chair so that you could go all the way, and then wait long enough to commit to your new leg so that this one is so empty that it has this float. So that's the most marvelous part of Tai Chi, is that when you train it, it's addition by subtraction. It's unburdening. It's sloughing off something you're carrying around you didn't know you were carrying around. You're losing it. You're dissolving it. And then what's left is function and buoyancy and capacity. So it's this reclaiming of something rather than adding on, right? Now, switch sides again. Level 1. Put all your weight in your left leg, right foot in front, heel touching. Now we go shift, step, shift. Shift back, step without shifting, and then shift back. So notice when you shift, your body is traveling. When you step, your body shouldn't be traveling. And then when you shift, your body travels. On the way back, same thing. When you change from one leg to the other leg, your body travels. But when you step that empty foot, you don't travel anywhere. But then when you shift, you travel. So slow down enough to discern these events. Shifting is when we travel. Stepping, we don't travel, but then shifting is when we travel. And then shift, step, shift. Now, see if you can get that to feel fluid, where it's shift, step, shift. So it's as if I don't come to a stop, but I'm still traveling while shifting, stepping without traveling, shifting, but you can make it smooth. One more. Shift, step, shift. Key to this is that premature thing. Taking the time to actually commit to one leg and then actually commit to the other. Now, hand on chair, lift, lower, shift. Now, there's an obstacle on the floor. Pick up that foot and step over and then shift. Then this little flamingo down and then in reverse, down through that sturdy leg. Now this front leg up, tuck, reach, still no body weight, then shift. The weight underneath allows this movement. The weight underneath allows this. Right, so this is free because I'm sturdy through my other leg. And then I change, and now this is my sturdy leg. So this one's free. All from the middle. And then take this one and just go one level up by going full lift and down. Shift. And then this back leg, let's go full range. Heel, knee, foot. Float the foot down. Shift. And then go knee, back, shift. And then up, tuck, reach, shift. And lift, down, shift. And then heel, knee, foot. All equilibrium right here. So freedom of movement around this floating equilibrium inside. That's what Tai Chi is trying to get us to rediscover. Other side. Put all the weight in your right leg, left foot in front. Level 1 is just casual. We're going shift, step, shift. And then back. Shift, step, shift. The weight underneath. Just have that idea that you're not holding it, you're releasing it. You're releasing constant. Tension is a habitual response. It's a protective response. That's why Tai Chi is actually quite sounds like a soft art, but it takes a lot of courage to relax in the face of fear, danger, to relax, to soften and melt. Let's go level 2, hand on chair. We lift, lower, and now it's shift. Now as the weight is really down through this one leg, this other foot, buoyant. and then shift. Like a little flamingo, lift and lower. Shift. Make sure the weight's out of the body and just float this light, loose, relaxed limb, and then shift. And then we go lift, lower, shift, float, shift, shift, lift, tuck, reach, shift. And then let's go full range where we, again, use the chair so you can keep your vertical, you can stay relaxed, heel, knee, foot, float, shift, forward and up, reach it back, shift, up, tuck, reach, shift. The weight out of the body allows that lift. Shift, heel, knee, foot, down, shift, lift, lower. Last one. Now remember, feel free to have a seat and take a break at any time if the hips, the back, fatigue gets to you. But we're going to keep moving along, right? And if you're watching these videos on repeat later on the recording, you can always press pause, take a break, and then kick back into gear, right? So for this next one, we want to get all the way to the left side of the space and then turn down range. So we have two things. We have a runway, and then we also have chairs to our side that we can reach to should we need to, right? Then let's carry on down the runway. So put all your weight in your right leg, left foot in front. Small steps. We go shift. That moved me forward. Step, notice I did not move forward. So I put my foot out there. It's waiting. It's ready. Now when I let the weight go down to the ground, that moves me forward. Step without moving forward. And then let the weight going down move you forward. Step without moving forward. Let the weight going down to the earth be what moves you forward. Because more often than not, we're doing something extra, and that throws off our equilibrium. Just look how easy it can be when you just relax, you have your vertical. We go backwards, same thing, down. The weight is here, so that makes this step no problem. But then I got to go down. I got to exit this leg and enter this leg so that that step can happen safely. And then I got to exit this leg and commit to this leg and then step. And then commit, step. So the term in Tai Chi, double weighted, it means you haven't left one leg in favor of another, and then you're also not able to go back. It's like we're always a little bit in both legs, walking around, that sort of penguin clumsiness that just gets worse and worse and worse, whether it's Parkinson's or just age. That's what happens, this shuffling that happens. Because you can just see it, right? Two heavy legs versus one full, the other empty. And then now this one totally full and totally empty. And I like the term the mountain and the cloud because they couldn't be further from each other. A mountain and a cloud, they're very different. So you want one leg as a mountain, this leg is a cloud, and then you turn the cloud into the mountain, which allows this one to be a cloud. And then mountain and cloud, change, change, change. And going backwards. One mountain, be clear on which one is a mountain and step the cloud. And then turn the cloud into a mountain so that you can step the other. And then cloud into a mountain. Cloud into a mountain. Cloud into a mountain. Cloud into a mountain. And then see if you can get that to flow a little. Cloud, mountain, cloud, mountain, cloud, mountain. You just cruise across the room. And then cruise back. And over time, you can go longer stride, but it's still cloud. Now this is a mountain. Now I take a big step, but it's still a cloud. And then I go mountain, right? Mountain, mountain. 1, 2, 3, right? So that's how I speed up, is not through faster, it's through being so relaxed that you can really elongate your strides and move. Okay? Now let's turn and face forward. Right foot out, in, out, in, out, in, out, out. Now the weight goes down through. So this is the mountain, cloud, and then mountain, cloud, from the middle, vertical line. Right, so we're keeping our vertical axis. We're using this hammock of support here. We're training this hammock to stay intact and trade full to empty, and then trade full to empty. Now stay in your right leg, left foot in, out. Keep it like a cloud the whole time, empty, floating, buoyant. Now bring that foot in. Let's keep them very close together. Change the weight to your left leg. Change the weight to your right leg. Change. So this one's a little harder to see, but this is empty. And then change. Weight goes down. This is empty. Change. So by creating this hemmed in, narrow positioning and still being able to empty and fill, change, mountain, cloud, then you're really tuning and finding this internal mechanism, which is what it's all about. So this one's a really important one. Feet very close together. Change, 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 change. Now the weight down through your left leg, right foot out. Weight down through your right leg until your left foot's empty, float it in. Change the weight through the left leg, step out. Down through your right leg, step in. Change, step, change, step, change, step, change. Go the other way. Down. Seeing how down to the earth is the trick. That's the key. I like to say, we know that down is really the rule, because if I don't skillfully go down through my leg and I do something clumsy, I'm going where? I don't float off into outer space. I go down to the earth. And so seeing how you don't need to be afraid of down, don't be afraid of the ground, but you do have to skillfully be able to interface with it. So being relaxed, and then that allows us to be grounded. So I'm now moving across the room, grounded and loose the whole time. And this is one of my favorite ones, because this is where we get to add on advanced, quote unquote, advanced Tai Chi. So let's start here with feet about hip distance. Shift to your right leg, turn now, right? And if you're coming to the Friday class, this is all common for you or familiar. Brush and sweep. And then shift, turn, brush and sweep. The bear washing its paws in the stream. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. So we do this one, but now let's add the walk. So shift to your right leg, turn, sweep across. Everything's to your right, to your right. Then step the left foot in. Now change your weight to your left leg, turn, brush, sweep. Now your right leg should be empty. Step it, keeping it empty. And then we're ready to go shift, turn, brush, sweep. Now the left leg should be empty, float it in, keeping it empty. So it's still empty. So then we can go shift, turn, brush, sweep. Right foot empty, step it out. And then it's shift, turn, brush, sweep. Left foot empty, step it in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step it out. So we should still be traveling to the right. Now, maybe you got to the end of your runway. Let's go back the other way. Left foot steps out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift leg, turn from the middle, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. In. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Now the bear swats the jumping fish. Let's do a couple of these before we start walking. So shift to the right, turn to the right, brush and swat. Shift to the left, turn to the left, brush and swat. The hands change. Shift and turn, brush, swat. Now, step that left foot in as your hands change. And then shift to the left leg, turn, brush knee down low, swat the fish up high. Now, as you step your right foot out, you want to change the hands. Now we're all loaded and ready. Shift. Keep your right hand low, James. Keep your right hand low. Right hand low. Yeah. Shift and turn, brush and swat, right? Now, as you step your left foot in, change the hands, high to low and low to high. Now we're ready to shift into the left leg. Turn from that middle, brush, and swat. Now, as the hands are changing, that's where you step. Now it's shift, turn, brush, swat. As the hands are changing, step your empty left foot in. Shift into the left leg, turn, brush, swat. As the hands are changing, step that right foot. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Step that empty left foot in. Hands change. One more. So we're traveling to the side, moving from our middle pivot. Bring the left foot in, left foot out. Now we go shift, turn, brush, and swat. Step that right foot in as the hands change. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Stepping out as the hands change. Shift, turn, brush, swat. It's looking good, everybody. Step in. Remember, silk, as if reeling silk. Or I like the word butter. We all know what nice, smooth butter is, right? This flow. And it's not sloppy, but it's not stuck. It's this perfect balance of soft, loose, buoyant fluid. And then back to this wash your paws, settle, settle. Shogun, wing roll full. Settle everything down. And then arms down. So the last thing I want to show you, I think I've shown this before. Some of you, this may be new. So just watch me first, please. So the first thing we've been working on when walking forward is passive, where we're just melting this way and melting this way. But there's another type of movement. If you think about fencing, you think about boxing, there's this advance, right? This, what I like to call ballistic. there's like a ballistic quality, this boom, it's got some pop in it. So what we're going to work on is this movement simply where we load up the back leg, the front foot is empty, and then you push, right? I push off of that and advance, and I bring this foot up, it's empty. And then we go backwards by pushing and retreating. The weight has to, I want you to really notice where it goes. It doesn't go forward or backwards, it goes down. It's the down that makes me have the sturdiness. Now I could throw a punch, I could stab with a sword with that, but the most basic thing is this advance and then retreat. But really see how the on the foundation of shift and shift, by opening the way down to the ground, then you can do something that's athletic and stay relaxed and get down to the ground, right? So this is a really important one because it helps get some pop back in our legs. If all we do is this, it's good, but it lacks that combustible gunpowder, bang, in the legs. So let's do a few of these and then we'll be done. So set up as if you're doing this first exercise, okay? So you got your chair on your right. Be back from your chair a little bit. Put all your weight in your left leg and have your right foot empty. So we're in the beginning where we just shifted. Now, bend your back leg and think of it like a spring that you've loaded up. So this back leg is loaded, and then push off of it and advance and bring that back foot forward. And now your front leg is a little bent and loaded. Push off and drag that foot back. Advance. Retreat. And so an important part here is this middle has to go. You have to let yourself move forward in space, let yourself move back in space. Make sure you have your chair in your hand because it's very easy to get over our skis in this one. Advance, retreat. Hand is on the chair. Advance, retreat. Advance, retreat. So have the idea that you're loading, like a spring that's loading, and then you're springing off of it, and then loading, and then springing back and loading, and springing forward, loading, back, forward. So though the legs are sort of loading, springing, the effect can be just like I just floated forward, floated back. Float, 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 right? Float and float. Now let's switch over to your other chair. Get closer to it. Put the weight through your back leg. Your right leg. Left foot empty. And again, in the previous exercise where we just casually shifted, now we go one step further where push and push and push. So hopefully what you've got going is that the other leg is the back leg and the other leg is your front leg, so they're doing the opposite jobs. Advance, retreat. Advance, retreat. As you get better and better at it, you can go advance, retreat. Advance right into the retreat. You're going in. How do I do that? By being more soft. The moment we try to go faster, the tendency is to tighten and try harder. But it's fascinating that that gets directly in the way. That's an impediment. Relax. So that as you advance, you're so relaxed that this leg's already loaded, so that then we retreat and it's already loaded, so then it's advance, retreat, advance, retreat. 1, 2. 1, 2. One of the tricky parts is let the leg that you are advancing with be your sturdy leg and drag this foot up. Bring it in. And then push off and let this one drag back. Forward, back, forward, and Okay, and then just to finish, because we used a lot of this below the belt area, let's go hands together. Rub your palms. Rub the back of one hand. Rub your palms. Back of other hand. Palm. And then let's go groin. Hip flexors. Tail. Lower back. And then like we're doing a Tai Chi squat, your butt goes back, sit your buttocks a little bit, sweep your hands down the outside of your legs, around to the inside, and then come up the inside of your legs, past your groin to your belly button. Again, groin, hip flexors, tailbone, lower back, and then like you're squatting, butt back, sit the buttocks, sweep the hands down the legs, around the feet to the inside of the legs, come up the inside of the legs to the belly, and third time's a charm. Groin, hip flexors, tailbone, lower back, outer channels, inner channels. And then just the reset of all the chi in the body. Outer arm, turn, sweep. Outer arm, turn. So we do the same arm 3, 4, 5 times, and then we switch. Outer arm, notice the whole path, and then the whole path. Turn the whole path. So James, notice which direction I'm going. I'm going up, turning, down, and off. And then I repeat that. So it's very organized. Same arm. Up, down. Yang or outer, yin, inner. And then closing the whole practice. Wing, roll, hold, settle and consolidate everything to the belly, and then seal the practice, taking the center of this palm right over top of the belly button and seal. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Great job. If you have any questions of any kind, feel free to unmute and ask, or also to email me as well.